What's going on? Thanks for checking the video. Keith here, Two Guys How To. June's inside the garage putting some stuff away. We just did another video on the heating element for the fuel bowl, as well as the fuel inlet tube. We replaced that, as well as the sensor that comes in and senses the fuel or water and fuel, and it gives heat to that heater element. But today, if you're having problems with your fan, your air conditioning works, your heat works, but the fan selector switch isn't doing anything. It only works on high or possibly low. Most of the time it usually just works on high only, and there's a resistor in there, and it's located here. If you're looking at the hood right down here, if you've got the air conditioning, it's right to the side of the AC, and it's an 8mm bolt. I'm not sure if there's one down there. I think we were working on this before and we were waiting on the part. There's another one down underneath there. It's kind of a bear to get to. And this plug, and what happens when your heat isn't working or only working on high, or your AC is only on high, it's because the resistor in there that's resisting the current is just gone bad. It's broken. It looks like a little spiral spring, and it'll break. And what will happen is high is direct current all the time. The other settings are reduced by that the resistor, excuse me. So what we did is we went to Ford, we got the resistor, we got the blower, fan blower resistor, and we've got the pigtail. Most of the time on these resistors, they get so dang hot, they actually weld the plastic bonds together to where you cannot get this fitting out of here. It's easier just to cut the wires, pull this whole, the resistor assembly out that's in the box here, and put a brand new pigtail. And Ford has one. It comes with the heat shrink wrap. It comes with the connectors, the pinch connectors. If you want to solder it, you can do that as well. So on this particular resistor, I'll open it up and show you. And it's common. Sometimes you go over a bump, it'll quit working. Sometimes it might work. Sometimes it might not. So you can see the springs in there. And it's got that little resistor on there, and they'll break, or they'll go bad, or they'll get corroded up inside there or inside here, and that's it. So you can see it's got the 2 bolt holes, and it's just going to go in there just like that into that the fan housing there, and it's going to bolt right in there and plug right into there. So you can see it's kind of delicate circuitry. You don't really want to touch it. You don't want to get dirt, but it gets dirt and stuff over time, and they just get hot. They get worn out. And this is what regulates your low, medium, and high speeds. So the high will always work. The high bypasses this. You don't need this. But we're going to replace it so we can have all the speeds in this particular truck. We want it working right, and that's what they want. So this the fan blower, the resistor itself is a Y as in yellow, H as in Henry, -1698. And that's the part number on here. Ford's big long part number is a 4. Charlie, C as in Charlie, 2 Z as in Zebra, -19, A as in Apple, 706, B as in boy, A as in Apple. And both of those numbers should cross over. That'll get you started if you want to get one online or get one from the dealer. On things like this, we just get them from the dealer. That way we don't have to keep replacing them, and they won't damage anything else. And for that wiring harness, the pigtail that goes to this, which we're just going to cut it, throw it out. We know it's messed up. We couldn't get the plug off of there. And this particular one is a W as in Willie, P as in Peter, T as in Tom, -1521, and the other number under it is 1, U as in Utah, 2, Z as in Zebra, -14, S as in Sam, 411, N as in Nancy, B as in boy. And that's the pigtail. Comes with everything you need and a brand new resistor. So what we're going to do, June's going to try to get down in there. He's got a 1/4 inch drive with a bunch of extensions there, and he's got this universal swivel on the end with this 8, was that 8mm? Looks like an 8. Yeah. And he's going to try to get down to get in those bolts. It's right behind the air conditioning components there, where your orifice is, and the dryer vent, the dryer cylinder is right there. And it's a little bit of a pain to get to, but we will get it out. So make sure you spray those with some WD-40, fight with them a little bit, say your cuss words, whatever you're gonna do, and once you get it out, you're good to go. And then we're just gonna cut it and put this brand new pigtail in here, and I'll show you what it entails. And it's super heavy duty wire. There went heat shrink, and these are very strong, almost a marine heat shrink tubes. With the connectors there, the butt connectors that you're going to crimp onto here. So we're going to basically just splice these and go right into it, hit it head on. There's your brand new plug, and we're going to grease this with that dielectric grease, and it should be good to go. So I'll show you how to do this. We'll splice these back. We'll put the nice crimp connectors on here. and then put the heat shrink over top of them first. Slide them over first, that way we can pull them back over when we crimp everything together and heat them on in there. And we'll show you that this fan will work correctly, and he can get all, or she can get all the temperature settings they want. It's winter time now, the snow's out, so you really can't afford this thing to totally go out. If it goes out, then you have no defrost, and while you're riding up the road, it can be very hazardous. So we're gonna let him do what he's gonna do and get those bolts out. I'm gonna go and do a couple other things real quick and just make sure we've got all the parts to finish up every video we're shooting today. And we'll be ready. We'll show you cutting this thing off. We'll show you crimping it back together, dielectric grease everything, do the heat shrink, and plug it back in and go inside and see if this thing is actually low, medium, high, working again back to factory. Okay. To that bottom bolt, it's a bear. We've got these flexible 1/4-inch extensions. And we're gonna see if we can flex it and bend it down underneath there. Oh, if he holds that, you got both of them, June?
Yeah.
Stripping off. I'll hold it right here and see if we can get it.
Angle sucks.
Yeah, it's a bear. The bottom one's a total headache. But we're getting it with these snake flex extensions. We don't use them a lot, but when you do need to use them, especially you've been getting the bolt started again, you just got to hold your finger on it. And I'll show you what we've got going on. We got 2 of those flexible 1/4-inch drive extensions, and they're working, aren't they, June?
Yep.
So we're good, and you can see what those bolts look like. They're just like a self-tapper, almost coarse thread bolt with an 8mm head on it. So if you drop it, you can always, whoop, there I go, I just dropped it. If you dropped it, I'm gonna go get that. You can substitute them out with something that's a little easier. And this is what they look like right there. So let's get busy. We're gonna take this out. You can see the whole resistor, the fan. It doesn't look broken, but it sure looks dirty. It's probably not even getting connections. Yeah, you could probably just wire brush this thing and clean it up, and it would work just fine. We might do it just out of curiosity, but the clip still broke, and you can't get this pigtail out of the main piece, so we're just going to cut it and actually throw it out. And you can see if you match these up, it's going to go right in there like that. And that's it. So even though the resistor is probably just rusty and bad, the whole the fan selector part, we can't get it out of the plug without breaking everything up, so we're just going to cut it and then throw it out. So let's get busy and cut this out, and we'll show you how to do that and make sure it has everything in the kit that they promised us. Alright, so you got the new plug and we matched it up. These aren't color coded like these wires here. This has like a reddish orange, a yellow with a red stripe, a black, and a green with a white stripe. So I went ahead and we matched it up, make sure it's okay. We put yellow tape on one of the wires to make sure we remember that it's yellow, the black to the black, the red to the reddish orange, and the one with nothing, I don't have green tape in my bag. We're going to run to the green with the white wire. If you want to just look at it this way, you can see how they all go in, and just make sure you cut one at a time if you want to be safe. We labeled them so we know we're good, and we're going to just go ahead and take our cutters, cut up high, right? I mean, you could technically take these pins out if you didn't want to use this pigtail, and just pull these pins out with the pin removal tool and slide them in there, but who cares, right? So we're just going to cut this. Good to go. That's pretty much trash. And we've got our wire strippers, huh?
Probably better pins anyway.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's strip these back. So I've got my little Klein cutters here, and let's strip it back, each and every one, and get them ready to rock and roll here. That's 4 of them, and we got 4 more here. Yeah, let me just get right here, splice these down, or these, and it seems like the ones that came on the new plug are they're pretty thick wires. Looks like they're coated maybe in a heat shrink.
Looks like the 10 gauge.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more beefy.
got Ford on it.
Yeah, it's genuine Ford, so you know, we've got 20 years out of this resistor. This truck's a 2000, actually 21 years. So we're good to go. We can put some dielectric grease in the crimps. We have that grease out here.
Somewhere here.
So now we've got plenty of length here. With this added to the other one, what we'll do is we'll just wire loom it and kind of tuck it down in there out of the way. And if you want to fix this later, it'll be so much easier. And we'll grease that connection to that plug to get them from binding together if it gets too hot. But the heater core does get hot, and it's right there on that plug. This plug is black, and on those other Tanner plugs, maybe they had a problem with the plastic makeup, the composition, to where they just bonded together and don't want to come apart, period. You're going to end up breaking everything, and you don't want to crack that fan box, so it's easier just to pay this little bit, get the resistor, get the fan switch resistor unit and the pigtail, pull it out, don't break anything up in here at all, and just put all new. Let's first put the, it came with some heat shrink tube, right?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and put those on each one of the wires so we don't forget. There should be 4 of them. Go ahead and put these on first. You can put them on this side or you can put them on the other side. I'm going to put them here so they don't fall down into the motor. I'll put one on each tube, or each wire, excuse me, one tube on each wire. And let's just start going with our crimp. Let's try this crimp. If it doesn't work, I'm going to cut it off and go and get some other ones, or I'm going to solder these on. So I've got my crimping tool here. And June put dielectric grease inside of these, so it'll help keep it. Yeah, they're easy to crimp. Very simple. Simple, simple, simple. So let's just keep going down the line. Let's get these on first here to make sure we're ready to receive the brand new wires. Alright, so we got those crimped on there. We're ready for the receiving. Our tubes are already on, the heat shrink tube. So we're going to go red to red. That's a nice little setup. So June can pinch that as I hold these. Yeah, here, you hold the wire. If June holds the wire, I'll do the crimp. Let me get the camera over here. It's pretty good. Let me just get this right up and personal on us here, June. And you can see we've got the crimping tool here. It's kind of rounded right there for your different size crimp. I'm using the top one. That way it crimps down good. The topmost one's a cutter. I'm using the second one down. Got it in there, June?
Yep, it's all the way.
All right, that's done. That's yellow to yellow, right?
Yep.
So it helps by color coding them with the tape, or you can use duct tape and just write the color on it. If not, just do them one at a time. Let's see, make sure you guys can see what we're doing here.
It barely goes in that one.
Huh? That one barely, because the wire went through so much. Let me see it.
Twist it in.
You got it? Let's see this thing here. Yeah, one of them went in pretty dang far. There you go. And you push it towards me, June, while I French it good. All right, that one's good.
There's a green.
And we don't have a green. That's the one we didn't put any tape on, so we know that that goes together.
Yeah, the wire's all the way to the end.
Let's see if I can loosen that one up here. Let me see if I can loosen that one up a little. Yeah, some of these wires are smaller, so they go all the way through these crimps. But I'll loosen it just a hair and pull it up off of there. No big deal. And actually, let's go ahead and crimp this side first, and then I'll put it on that small green wire. That way we know it's not in too far. Bang. Good. Just pull on them a little bit lightly there, June. Make sure, yeah, see how that one's not going on all the way? Let's go ahead and crimp that one down really good. Right here. Check it again.
Yep.
Feel all right? You want to pull on all of them before we do the heat shrink. Make sure and don't be afraid to tug on them pretty decent, because if they break now, you can fix it now. Once the heat shrink's on there, you're not going to see it. They look good?
Yeah, they're good.
All right. So we got our propane torch here. I'm actually going to turn it way down with this quick torch. I guess it's a turbo torch. Huh?
Good heat shrink. Pretty thick.
Yeah, it's like a marine heat shrink. It's pretty thick. So if we just do one at a time here, let me get right down so they can see this here, June.
Oh, you want to get over it?
Yeah, let's just do it like this. So if you got these lined up, you're going to line them up right over top that connector right there. Let's push it down over the connector. You want to even amount on both sides there. And let's just see if we can heat it up. We use a lighter, like an old cigarette lighter or something too, but we just started using this. It's just easier. You don't want to melt or burn the wire. Just heat the heat shrink pieces, and they'll shrink down pretty good. All right, they're all set where you want them, June?
Yep.
Okay, let's just go to the next one. This right here is saving us a couple $100 too. You know what I'm saying? Every time you do this stuff yourself, you're just saving that money, and you're able to buy more parts, and you're able to buy the OEM quality Ford parts or Chevy or whatever you're working on. I'd rather buy the better parts and do the labor myself. And I start in the middle and kind of I don't keep the heat directly on it. I just rotate it around and go from the top to the bottom. You don't want to melt those wires. Don't damage the wires at all. You can always go back over the heat shrink if you notice it's not tight enough. It's pretty cold outside today. And we do have that anti-seize or the dielectric grease up in there. So sometimes they won't shut all the way, but that grease will be inside there to protect it from rain, salt, dust, all that other stuff. So last but not least, it's good to go. Done. Done, done, done. We'll let those cool a little bit, and we'll get some more of this wire loom and put it over there with some electrical tape and feed it back in there and put some of that dielectric grease. You have any of that grease handy there, June? Let's go ahead and just put some of that right now. This is made by who? Permatex, and it's a dielectric. You could use Vaseline almost. We just squirt this in there, and this will keep it from getting a nice good connection, as well as around the outsides. I'll lube it up before we put it actually into slide it into the snap clip there. That way we can make sure it comes back out later. Boom, so we're ready. Let me go get June's got some 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 wire loom. We'll put that on top of there. Cover all this up.
3/8.
Yeah, 3/8 wire loom. I think we get this. I get it, you know, by the 25-foot roll or something. Let's see if I can get this on. My hands are starting to get super used. Might need bigger than 3/8. We got some 1/2 inch in there. Do you have 1/2 in there, June? Yeah, let's go with just a 1/2 inch. Some big boy stuff there. Just because there are 4 wires there. Let's see if this goes over a little better. It's cold today, man. It's fighting me. Yeah, plus that 3/8 will go over top of this. It's going to get too thick, so we'll take this over top the quarter loom that's came factory down here. That's got to be put back on and taped. You can almost run it all the way down through there. You want to just cut it right there for me, June? Okay. So let's fight with this a little bit more and get it on there. Get everything covered up. I'm gonna go ahead and run some electrical tape around this as far as I can. Go down that way, make sure it doesn't come back apart, and we'll be ready to install the resistor in there. You can see we got the whole thing wire loomed up. I need some more tape, so I'm gonna go get that and make sure all of this is inside there. That way we can just bring it around like that and plug it right in and just kind of leave it up as long as it doesn't rub on these AC lines. June's going to get that in there with the 2.8mm bolts. If he needs my help when I get back, we can do that. But see, we've got these extensions. See, those 1/4 inch extensions, and they're like a spiral, like a big, huge guitar string. You can see how flexible they are. So we've got 2 of them, and we'll go up underneath those hoses right there, and we can loosen it or we can tighten it how we want. So I'm going to let June fight with that. I'm going to go grab some tape real fast. All right, so June got that sensor back in using those flexible 1/4 inch, I call them like a snake. They look like a big flexible extension to get that 8mm bolt down on the bottom, and the one on the top is a lot easier. The plug's even kind of awkward. It's so close up here, you can see. You just line it up straight. The 2 wires that are side by side go on the top, and then all the rest of the wires are straight down. So you can see the clip with the hook part goes on the passenger side. There's another clip over there, which is it's just crazy how they have it. It almost breaks every time. So the best way to do it, if you're going to even take this thing out, is to take the bolts out and mess with this clip later on. But you can see it's brand new. We got all the wire loom is tucked down in there, all taped up. Everything's good to go. So let's go start this thing and see if we have the actual heat on it. The heat controls before it was just working on high. Remember, I stated that at the beginning of the video. So let's go ahead and start it up. And let's see if the heat actually works. I'm gonna put it on just on your face right here on these vents. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good. So before it was only working on high. Now we've got the whole selector switch is good. So we've got, you know, low, medium, high, and extra high on the fan. Sweet. Yeah, we just saved a bunch of money right there, so we're good. I'm out of here. We got another transmission adjustment to do and a couple other snowplow repairs for some people. So Keith, 2 guys out too. June's over there. He's putting stuff away. Get busy, get raw. George just showed up. He's creeping around the car hood. Fix it yourself, save that money. Check the other videos out. And we're out of here. Peace. What's up, Iggy? Talk to him before I shut the video down. Oh yeah. Yep. You're not a pig, you're a lawyer. He's not a pig, he's a lawyer.